And good morning, everybody. Good Friday morning. Yes, we made it to another end of the week, work week, the hot summer work week. And, of course, it's that time of year when you walk outside your house, you can actually hear your grass crying. It's just the way it is. We're glad you're out there, though, and stay cool. Sit back and listen to the next 2 best hours of local live talk radio. Roger B., and here he is back in the house. We have pictures today because here's Rob.
Did you miss me?
All right. Just stop it right there.
Whoa, easy, Father.
You sent your message across loud and clear. You woke up yesterday. You said, let's just let them see how much they miss me.
I know. I wish it was like that.
I see what you did.
Trust me, I wish
see
it was
what
like
you
that.
did. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Rob. You getting me back for all those times.
I left you corner candidates, didn't I?
You really did. That was good.
Hey, you're welcome.
I had a good visit with the corner.
I knew it'd kill you.
In fact, I told him, I said,
Sorry, bad joke.
It wouldn't kill you. I love it. Are we going to continue coroner jokes even after the runoff?
Yes.
Good.
Because we got a general coming up in November, man. You got to ride this wave, baby. 2023's got to be coroner, the year of the coroner. As Clayton continues to laugh, what a way.
The coroner's race brought to you by the ice plant. Anyway.
Never ends.
Keep them cold. All right. It never is. But no, seriously, folks, Rob was under the weather yesterday, but thank you for giving me plenty of advance notice.
You're welcome.
No, but glad you're back, sir.
Yeah. Let's roll on a Friday.
Let's roll on a Friday. And, of course, let's tell the people who just want to remind folks you'll want to continue to listen because we have 2 gentlemen here that are running for the same office. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to hopefully find out if they really are friends or not before this is all over with. Of course, so that's looking forward to the visit with, Chris Bullock and J.J. Anders. And so we're looking forward to that. But first, let's remind people that we can't turn on these mics unless somebody's paying the bills. And thank you for sponsors like
Queen City Truck Stop, Magnolia Restaurant. And, today's Friday, Roger. You know what that means. Fish Friday. That's right. Fried catfish fillets. They got red beans.
Fish frying there.
Yeah. They got the red beans and rice, of course, hamburger steak with onion and gravy, a lot of other items on the lunch menu. You could start out the day with a delicious breakfast, the little rise and shine breakfast there at the Magnolia Restaurant. And, of course, a biggie burger with fries, lots of other options right there off of exit 150 here in Meridian, the Queen City Truck Stop, the Magnolia Restaurant. If you need that to-go order, 601-482-0259. It's Meridian's unofficial lunch counter. That's the Magnolia Restaurant, the Queen City Truck Stop.
I didn't know they were unofficial.
Unofficial, yeah.
I thought that was official.
Well, if you want to make it official, certify it like an election.
Speaking of an election, we have a runoff coming up here, coming around the corner.
Get out and vote, please.
And this is we're being serious, folks, because we realize the temptation come Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm gonna get out. If it was your civic duty 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It's no less your duty again this runoff.
That's right.
So we're going to be finding out Tuesday who the real patriots are here in our area. That's what I'd say.
Absolutely. Can't disagree on that.
Is that strong enough language?
I like it.
All right. It's Mornings in Meridian, and, of course, here in the studio, we have them. Won't you introduce our guest there, Mr. Rob?
All right, we got the Republican candidates for District 1 Supervisor in the runoff. We've got Justin J.J. Anders. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Get into that mic.
Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
You're going to have to really have a close relationship with that mic there.
Yeah. Like you would your air conditioner.
That's right. I can't get wet there on that one.
And, of course, also we've got Chris Bullock in this morning as well. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to everybody out there listening this morning.
Fantastic.
Right. Man, glad to have you guys here. So it's come down to you two. I mean, this is all we got. I mean, it's you two. It's like, okay.
To get to November, there you go.
Well, why don't we just start out by I know you've been on the show before, each of you, and let's just start out by saying a little bit about who you are, and introduce yourself to our listeners in case somebody wasn't listening last time. And we'll start with Mr. Bullock.
Yeah, like I said, my name is Chris Bullock. I'm a candidate for District 1 Supervisor. We've got a very important runoff election this coming Tuesday, August 29th. I really encourage everybody to get out and vote, spread the word, text people, call people, put it on your social media, do everything we can to get a big turnout on Tuesday. Going door to door, I like to tell people, look, I was born, raised, baptized, and married here in Lauderdale County. And one of the reasons I'm running is I absolutely love this community and I care about our people. I want the right decisions being made. And I do believe that I'm the most qualified candidate running in this race. I have a record of experience in serving this community since I was 15 years old. I have a record of running a business in the private sector. I've got a record of leadership roles in local organizations. I'm prepared and dedicated to serving you. And I just ask everybody out there for your prayers and get out and vote this Tuesday.
All right, there we go. Mr. Anders, would you please introduce yourself to our listeners?
Well, thank you guys again for having us. And like Chris said, please get out and vote. I am Justin J.J. Anders, and I'm running for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. I'm a business guy. I'm not a politician. I'm not the best spoken. I know I'm not the best looking. But what I do have is a good business mind the Lord blessed me with, and a good wife behind me who's been supportive throughout all this and is very encouraging and committed to this process like I am. And so I just ask for you to come back out on the 29th. And if you didn't vote, you can still vote. The only people that cannot vote on Tuesday are the people that voted in the Democrat primary. Mm-hmm. So that's about 800 or so people. Anybody else in District 1 can come back out and vote. And please do so, because it's very important. The county's facing a lot of tough issues. Financially, prices are rising everywhere. You guys see it here in your business. We need people in there who know how to read a P&L, who know how to look at financials and make wise decisions when budget questions come up, or when X department needs something versus Y department. You have to be able to judge and juggle those needs and wants and make the best decisions for everybody.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to remind folks once again, if you voted Republican on August 8th, you are eligible to vote on August 29th. Now, if you did not vote, period, end of paragraph, either Republican or Democrat, you are still eligible to vote on Tuesday. So,
correct. And you can vote today absentee till 5 o'clock, and tomorrow from 8 a.m. till noon with Miss Donna Jill. If you're going to be out of town, if you've got a surgery, whatever. If you got a college kid coming back in town for the weekend, go vote.
There you go. So I know we're going to be hitting that drum pretty hard the next several days about
yes,
Tuesday.
Indeed.
So
Tuesday, and it's pretty easy. It's, if you voted in the Democrat primary, you cannot vote in this runoff. Plain and simple. All right. So, all right, gentlemen, thank you so much. And of course, we're glad you're here. And what I would like to ask you, and I know Rob's got some questions too, but I don't want to step on anything you have already, Rob. But just quite simply, what is your plan for trying to make the $50 million plus or $55 million, whatever the county budget is, go the farthest if you should become the supervisor? We'll start with you this time there, Mr. Anders.
Sure. The way I do it is,
you've got a $55 million, whatever much it is, budget.
Correct.
And you want it to go as far as possible. What do you think you will do differently than that's already been done?
Well, I think the current board is doing a phenomenal job. I think all 5 of those gentlemen up there are doing a really good job. What I think I bring to the table is fresh eyes. Running my own business, starting my own business with my own money, growing up in a family business, and then going out on my own. I believe I bring fresh eyes to the situation, being able to look at expenses, look at costs. How often are we checking our suppliers? Relationships are important in business, but also sometimes we get comfortable and we're not keeping our vendors held accountable as far as, are they still giving us the best price they can? The other thing is, are we looking forward? Are we using technology? Are we investing in things in the short term that are going to pay off for us in the long term? So, you've got to really look at things, and unless you've run your own business, it's kind of hard. We all run our own business, our own households, but we have to be able to make wise decisions and wise purchases with the resources we have.
Okay. Mr. Bullock.
Yeah, absolutely. Running this county's budget is going to be very important, and understanding that it's not my money, it's your money, is probably most important. What I'll do if elected is, run this budget and spend your money in a common sense, conservative way. I'll use the experiences in running my family's business, Caterers Market, in the private sector, and I will do that and work with whoever I need to and sit down with whoever I need to make that happen. I think that's what we need. We need common sense, conservative decision making, and that's what I can bring to the table.
Guys, we always talk about economic development. I know it's been talked about a million times on this program and others. The MBDC, of course, having a good working relationship with them, just trying to get something going here in Lauderdale County. If you're elected, what kind of plans would you have maybe to kind of maybe jumpstart something, maybe not just in your district, but something that's good for the county? I guess we can start with Chris right there.
Yeah, the economic development is complex, and throughout this campaign, I've met with leadership at the MBDC, and not only to understand, how they operate with the Board of Supervisors, but their relationship with our community as a whole. And if elected, I will work with them, work with any organization that is promoting the properties that we have available today. For industry to come in, but we cannot forget our existing industries. They're expanding every single day, and we need to champion that and focus on that. So it's kind of twofold. Of course, we're going to work with any organization that is trying to highlight our community, highlight the unique attributes that we have here for industry to expand, but also not forgetting those who are here, who are currently investing in our community, and who want to continue to expand and improve our community.
JJ?
What I think I'd bring to the table is fresh eyes. I mean, the reason I opened the UPS stores, I saw a need in our community. And all business is if you see a need and you can fill that need and be profitable and provide great service, that's what you do. Like Chris said, we have a lot of great businesses. In District 1, in the county, there's a lot of good people. We have the medical industry. We've got the Navy base. We've got the Guard base. We've got everything going for us. My question is, are we asking for the order? Are we assessing our county saying, okay, we have this going for us. What would fit with what we're already doing? And are we actively going after that and asking Roger, hey, look, you would fit great with us. What's it going to take to get here? Are we doing that? When people come to Meridian, we don't know this. None of us do because we're not in those meetings. But when people come to the MBDC or they come to the Board of Supervisors and they say, hey, we're looking at X site that we have ready to go. We've got 2 sites ready to go, ready to build. Are we looking at Rob in the eye and saying, you fit us, we fit you. What do we need to do to get you here? I mean, it goes back to sales 101. Are we asking for the business? And then when somebody like Southern Pipe, who's a great local company, they say, we need to expand. Are we helping them do that? Are we saying, what can we do to help you do that? Is there some land the county owns that, we can give you a 100-year lease on for $1, if you're going to add jobs and that kind of thing. So that's what I think I bring to the table is trying to fill needs to do with what we already have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, granted, and again, we applaud the fact that both of you come from business background, and that's a noteworthy thing. And I think most of us have always said at some point in our life, boy, politicians need to be more like businessmen. We need some businessmen there in office. And that's good, except, the rules are different now, because you only have a certain amount of sales because
you got to grow the pie.
It's a set amount. It's the tax base, and that's it. And also hiring and firing contractors is usually by way of a bid process, and sometimes lengthy, more frustrating than being actually in business for yourself. Mm-hmm. Since there is a set amount of money, we noticed the city of Meridian just proposed a substantial pay increase for the police department, for officers and new officers. You would have direct influence over the sheriff's department. Would you be in favor of finding ways to utilize funds from the county to increase salaries for sheriff deputies? All right. And we'll start with Mr. Let's see, who did we start with last time? All right. All right.
Leave JJ. Yeah.
All right. We'll
Sure.
go
JJ, and then we'll go to Chris. Yeah.
Well,
okay, got you.
Do a reverse rotation.
Well,
I remember if you mention the other one, he gets 30 seconds. Right?
That's right. Ding.
you know,
Would you be in favor of raising the salaries for deputies?
if the money allowed it, absolutely. But I do not want to raise taxes. I mean, you know, I think if Sheriff Solly came to the board right now and said, I need this, those 5 gentlemen would do anything they could to help the sheriff out. If Mr. Calhoun or whoever wins the sheriff's race in November comes to the board and I'm serving as your representative on that board, and they say, we need this so we can protect the citizens of our county, we're going to do everything we can to make that happen.
All right, Mr. Chris Bullock.
Yeah, look, my service to this community started when I was 15 years old, and I joined the cadet program at the Meridian Police Department, and I went on to help create the Ranger program at the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. So, look, I've got a record of being involved in law enforcement and supporting law enforcement pretty much my entire life. So, yes, if elected, I will do everything I can to make sure that our Sheriff's Department is well funded. Whatever they need. If they need personnel, if they need training, if they need equipment, I will stand with our brave law enforcement officers. But at the same time, we will, spend your money in a conservative, common sense way. We're not just going to hand out raises just to hand them out. If the money's not there, we're not going to do it. So look, we're going to run this in a conservative, common sense way. And yes, I will always stand with our brave law enforcement officers.
I know you guys have covered a lot of territory there in District 1 over the last couple of weeks, and we've asked you this question before here on the program, but I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be. But what's some of the issues, folks, out there in District 1, when you talk to them, when you go to a door and you knock on it and they do answer, what are some of the issues folks are feeling that really affects them out in District 1 right now? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, look, one of the main issues I'm getting is accessibility. If they've got a problem, if they've got a concern, they want to know that you're going to give them a call back, that you're going to come out there and listen to their problems, look at their problems, and help solve that issue. So, look, one of the first things I do, and I ask for a vote, is I hand them my card. And on it, it's got my cell phone number, 601-527-4742. It's got my email address, bullockforsupervisor@gmail.com. I ask them, please reach out. I want to be accessible. I want to help you. And if elected, I will do everything I can in the boundaries of the law to help you solve your problems. If I can't do it legally, I will do everything I can to direct you in the path to somebody that can.
All right, JJ.
Well, the main thing I've been getting is financials. You know,
Okay.
with gas going up again, anybody that's been in the grocery store, I mean, it's just ridiculous how much it costs for everything. And so the question I get is, are you going to raise my taxes? You know, we have to make a decision, you know, as a business, and that's what the county is, and we're using your money and my money and Chris's money to fund this business. You know, how are we going to keep offering the same services as a county as prices keep going up? You know, you talk to Odie Barrett, the Lima guy, who's head of Lima. Gas is just eating his budget alive. Talk to Mr. Sheriff Solly. I guarantee you the gas prices are eating his budget alive. And so, you know, at the end of the day, how do we continue to provide excellent services as a county with the same dollars that aren't going as far as they did 2, 3, 4 years ago? So that's what I'm hearing a lot of out there. And as far as accessibility, you know, people that know me know I'm easily accessible.
Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. If you just joined us, you're late. And
Hello.
We're glad you're out there. And we're having a nice visit with the two candidates for a supervisor, District 1, Lauderdale County. And they're in a runoff election that they would like for you to come out and vote in on the Tuesday, the 29th. So we'll talk about that. But first, we ask you to vote for Purvis Business Machines to be your business machine supplier.
And they're online at gopurvis.com, and you can go by and see that beautiful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North here in Meridian. 693-COPY. That's their number, of course. Jerry Purvis, Don Lucas, and the staff. And they've got lease return color copiers. Roger, you can save up to 85% on those items there at Purvis Business Machines. Of course, quality name brand office equipment, which includes copy machines, printers, those all-in-one devices, name brands that you trust like Toshiba, CopyStar, Kyocera, and Hewlett-Packard. That is Purvis Business Machines, located at 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian. Online, gopurvis.com, and call them 693-COPY. That's 601-693-COPY at Purvis Business Machines.
Oh, it's so good. I tell you what, it was... I was touring an office this week, and the lady behind the desk says, "I've got to have two printers because of the work
yeah,
they do.
sure,
They got to have
yeah.
two." And of course, there was two Purvis printers up on the desk there behind her. So, they really provide that good service, not excuses, like they say. That's Purvis Business Machines. We are visiting with a couple of candidates for the Supervisor, District 1, and that's Mr. Justin J.J. Anders and Mr. Chris Bullock. We're going to give you guys just a breather here because we're going to go to a Fox News break here shortly. And so what we'll do right now is we'll announce another one of our sponsors, and then we'll go to a break for Fox News.
Let's do it. And real quick, a good one to thank before we go to that Fox News break is Jeffrey Wilson State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And, of course, you can save up to $850 when you combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. And, of course, Jeffrey Wilson's been here in Meridian for a good number of years, and he's located at 2401 Highway 39 north in Meridian. Go by and see Jeffrey today or give him a call at 601-483-8253. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance Agent.
Oh, yeah, he's a good guy.
Absolutely. Involved in a lot in our community.
And he's got some good people working over there for him.
That's right.
Mornings in Meridian. What we'll do is we'll take a break. We'll come back, get a chance to take a sip of water, and, go down the hall, whatever needs to be done. Mornings in Meridian. We'll be right back with our interview with Justin J.J. Anders and also Chris Bullock. Well, they're wearing their
was gonna
respective.
yeah.
They're wearing their respective campaign wear.
I tell you,
Does that make them sharp dressed men?
it's the best two we've had in. No bone. Even better than the corner candidates, you know. Well, I'm not on Kenny and Stella's Christmas list now.
Just got X'd off of that list
Yeah,
there.
well, you know.
You better be careful. They might be just standing right around the corner when you're not looking.
Don't steal Stella's joke.
Well, yeah. Anyway, well, I'm sorry, guys. There's not a lot of jokes about the race for. We'll have to start making some.
Making some up.
Give it 5 minutes.
Yeah, there we go. But we are visiting. We'll resume the visit in just a second with Justin J.J. Anders and Chris Bullock for our candidates for Supervisor District 1. Important job. It's a part-time job. We're going to ask their opinion about that in just a moment. But any business we need to take care of first, or are we all good there, Rob?
I think we're squared away for now, so we're good to go.
Let's get back in it. And by the way, if you want to ask questions of the candidates, did you promise them that we would or would not take?
Oh, they're not scared.
Okay, well,
I don't think they are.
We'll open up the phone lines in just a moment, but go ahead and write these numbers down. 601-485-9191. That's the phone number for our station. If you have any questions for the candidates, they'd love to hear from you. That'd save them a door they'd have to knock on. Just give them your address; they can skip you.
So how much water and Gatorade have y'all went through in the past 2 weeks?
A lot.
Pallets.
A lot.
Pallets. I like that answer. Pallets.
Well, you know, and
You'd think they would have like the little sponsors on the back of their shirts, like Coca-Cola,
Yeah,
Brown
right.
that's a
Bottling.
great idea. That's a great
I
idea.
like it.
But I do want to thank everybody out there who's offered Gatorade or water or paper towel to wipe the sweat off. I mean, not seriously. We live in a great area. A lot of giving people who will take care of their neighbor, whether they're going to vote for you or not. They still appreciate you coming out.
Well, no offense, Justin, but if I'm running for office, I would be very careful about taking a drink from somebody. I just want to know what sign they had in their yard. But, no, we're not like that around here. Just joking, just joking. Can I ask y'all another serious question?
Sure.
Would that be all right? During your campaign here recently, a very controversial bond issue has been introduced.
Oh, boy.
And first of all, I think listeners would want to know how you gentlemen feel about it. So I'll even let y'all decide who goes first on this one. But how do you, first of all, my question is, how do you feel about the $12.5 million bond issue, and would you support it?
You want me to go, Chris? You want to go? I'll go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So first of all, the Board of Supervisors is separate from the school board. So just want to make sure that all the county does is take the school taxes in as a pass through and then gives it to them. So they approve the school board's budget, that kind of thing. So with all that being said, the Board of Supervisors we're not doing anything with this bond. It's the school board. First and foremost,
You don't have any hands on that
exactly.
transaction.
So yes. So but in theory, the Technical Institute is a phenomenal idea. I love that, giving young men and young women in our area great training to start a job day after they graduate from high school, in a lot of needed fields is a great thing. I've said it before on your show. Everybody should be calling Billy Adam Calvert, Jeff Tate, Michael Guest, Cindy Hyde Smith, and Roger Wicker, doing everything we can to get the new planes out the 186. But with that being said, we need to give kids, young men and women in our area, options to stay here and to give them training. I think it's a great thing. Now, when you talk about the bond specifically, I haven't read it. I've been laser focused on Tuesday. I think it's a great thing that they are bringing it to the citizens to vote on it. I think that is a decision that we as taxpayers should make ourselves. But as far as what's in the bond, I have not read it yet. I just haven't had time. I've been focusing on this. But
We'll just stay listening to WALT.
exactly.
Next week. We'll have
But
some
what I will
information.
say, in theory, if the bond is only for this building, it sounds good. If it's for other stuff, then I'm gonna have to look at it.
Okay. That's politician word for I'm concerned. No, not to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, look, I'm going to have to completely agree with JJ on that answer. Look, I'm not going to be a critic of the school board. If it's ever up to the Board of Supervisors to raise your taxes, which, look, I will fight, to the end of days to never raise your taxes. But they are making a good decision and letting your voice be heard on this matter. And all I can say is, look, educate yourself. Look at this, through and through, and go and make an educated decision. If you're, in that school district, if you're able to go vote for this, just be informed. That's all I can put out there for you.
All right. We'll do our best here at WLT to make sure everybody's informed.
Well, and make sure that.
And we've already had the school district superintendent on, so we're fulfilling that pledge, Rob, to keep everybody informed.
Well, District 1 for supervisor encompasses part of the city and part of the county.
Right.
The school bond is only for people that pay county school taxes.
Correct.
And in our district, we have a unique situation with Briarwood, Eagle Point, Van Zyverden, that it was annexed by the city a few years ago. And so they pay county taxes, even though they're in the city. So they would vote on that as well.
And because this bond issue will raise taxes, I was just wondering, because you both have expressed concerns about taxes. I just want to know how you guys felt about it.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question about taxes, because the millage rate right now for the county schools is maxed out completely. This would add another 3.15 more. And they just went up 4 mills last year. So people are kind of getting like, dadgummit, when are they going to stop taxing me so much? But I know you guys can't make promises about raising taxes, but just talk about taxing over the last couple of years. I know the county's trying not to do that, but it is what it is. I guess we'll start with Chris.
Yeah, look, it's been said already. We're dealing with inflation. People are feeling like they're being taxed to death. So what I can say, if elected as your supervisor, I'm going to do everything I can to never raise your taxes. We've got to look at the money that we've got on hand. We've got to spend your money in a conservative, common sense way, and that's what I can pledge to do.
All right.
Okay, so since the middle to end of June, the board has been having public budget meetings, and so I've been going to those budget meetings, and a meal is roughly about $625,000. Okay, so what they're doing is they're trying to get the most out of the resources, out of the tax dollars.
Now say that again. A meal is what?
Roughly about $625,000.
Have increased taxes.
Yeah, that's what it brings in. So one meal for the county is roughly about $625,000. So what you have to do is figure out how far is that one meal going to go. And if we're having to provide the same services, not saying I want to cut any services, but if we want to provide the same services, the same asphalt, the same road paving, bridges, everything like that. Asphalt is now over $200 a ton. Wayman Newell was telling me when he got into office, it was $29 a ton. So costs have gone up dramatically. So we're going to have to look at ways. Do I want to raise taxes? Absolutely not. Will I come up with and look at everything in any way I can not to? But if we may have to make some tough decisions, and it's like Dad's always told me, never put yourself in a position to make a decision unless you're willing to make it.
Do have a comment here on Facebook, guys. I think folks are kind of piggybacking off what you're saying. They're okay with the tax increase if needed and spent wisely. Right. So being good stewards of the county's tax dollars. So I think a lot of people feel that way as long as we're good stewards with the money. So
Well, that's I'm not talking to some of those people, because I'm hearing from some people that are saying absolutely not, regardless of how good you spend increased taxes. They're not in favor of taxes.
Sure.
Live within the budget. It was set years ago. But I'm just saying there's two sides out there.
Well, it is too, and the other side of that coin is dadgummit, folks are living paycheck to paycheck. Right. Some of them are, and when you get taxed to death, it's like, when is enough?
But the easiest way to do it is to grow the pie, to get new industry, get new business here, to have growth where we've lost almost 8,000 residents from 2010 to 2020 census, is to get some of that brain drain back.
All right. Well, let's take this phone call, and then I'll follow up with that. 601-485-9191. We have a caller. You have a question, and please make it a question that would be for both candidates to answer. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for your show, as always. I think we have two very intelligent men running and made the best man win.
I thought he was going to say had two intelligent men running the show.
Great job. First of all,
good accolades,
back
gentlemen.
to the taxes. My father lives in the county and pays county school taxes plus separate school. I live in the city. And
Wait a minute. How separate school means the city?
Well, let me finish. I live in the city, and I also pay separate school district taxes.
That's the city.
I don't think that's fair that we are charged a separate school district tax also. And the NAACP has filed a class action suit against the school system for the separate school district. I don't know if either of these young men know about it, but I'm for education 100%. I'm for new growth. I'm for these kids to learn how to do VOTEC jobs, but I'm not for squandering money on other projects. If it would be just for that one project or for the STEM program, I'm 100% for it. I'll hang up and listen. Thanks, guys, for your shows. This is very important to the community.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
All right. More of an observation, not so much a question there. But, yeah, any comments on the caller you want to comment
Yeah,
on?
look, I kind of agree. Look, I agree with him. Look, you can't, with this bond issue, that's why I say, look, I ask people to just educate yourselves on it. If they can go, line by line and say, look, we're spending this money for the career and technical education facility expansion, that's great. Let's go all for it. But let's have open eyes, open ears. I just ask people just to educate yourselves and stay informed about how this is playing out.
And all I'll add is, if we keep doing business the same way we have for the past 50 years, we're going to get the same results. I think the current board is doing a great job listening to how they work through problem solving, how they discuss things and work through problems. I think it's doing great. I mean, I think they're a successful board. Jonathan retiring, stepping away from the seat. I mean, I just want to take the football and then bring fresh eyes and keep this board moving in the right direction. But if we educate our kids the same way we have for the past 50 years, we'll get the same results. If we do business, if we operate, you've always got to improve. If you're not improving, you're dying in business. And that's what was always my mentality. You have to figure out new ways, innovative ways, different ways to get new results within the law, of course.
Well, all right. Very good. Okay. That leads me to something you both have referred to, and I think, JJ, you may have said it a little bit louder. You talk about the pie. It's all about dividing the pie. The pie is, of course, the revenues that come into the county, and it's primarily just taxation. So, and you made the comment you don't want to cut programs. But the truth of the matter is, if the pie shrinks, I think you both have indicated that increasing taxes is not the answer for a shrinking pie. It would then obviously be cuts. Are you willing to make cuts in the county government if it becomes required? And we'll go with Chris and then to JJ.
Yeah, look, if it is between making a cut by, giving some type of funds to a certain organization versus raising your taxes, look, we may have to make that decision. But what I can say without making, any hard promises is I'm going to spend your money in the most conservative, common sense way.
I think you look at, before you cut services, you look at alternatives. What if we combine, and I'm not advocating this because neither one of us have sat in that seat. We don't know the exact numbers yet. But I think you look at combining. Could a couple of departments merge into one where you've got one head instead of two? Could we potentially combine a couple of barns, for the county, for the road department? Could we, save resources there? One of the great new things that we're getting as a county is the use tax, from the state. It's when you go online and buy something online, it charges sales tax. So the county's starting to get some of that back, and it goes to road and bridge. And so that's helping that department. That's helping Mr. Mayat tremendously. And so that's going to be a new thing that we get that we weren't getting before. That's going to help with the budget as well.
Okay. All right. But just to be clear, that you would look at cutting services if it just was no other options.
Me personally, like I say, if you can't combine it and you can't get new revenue, sometimes we may just have to make tough decisions.
Mr. Bullock?
Just like you do in business.
I think we agree on that one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to think of what else we haven't covered this morning. I'm kind of out of questions over here.
What kind of ice cream y'all like?
Yeah, there's a good one. Let's get the fun questions out of the way. I'm all about the fun.
I'm old school vanilla. I'm sorry.
Old school vanilla.
I like mint chocolate chip.
All right.
That's a popular flavor
There
with
we
another
go.
candidate.
That is. That's right. It's maybe I'll have to try that mint chocolate chip. I've heard that a couple of times, but I'm a vanilla guy.
Homemade vanilla.
You can make it any flavor you want if you don't like. Yeah. All right. But all right. Just that.
I would say Snickers at Baskin Robbins, but they're out. So
Well, I guess we can talk about roads and bridges because we did mention that real
That's
quick.
where we would need to go.
Yeah, roads,
Exactly.
roads and bridges. I mean, District 1, I mean, how good a shape are we in District 1 right now with roads and bridges? And I know that's always a concern with folks because when you go door to door, they're like, well, they hadn't looked at my road in years, but I know that's always a big concern with folks' infrastructure and whatnot. So I guess we'll start with JJ here. So.
Okay. I think our major thoroughfares, major roads are in pretty good shape. The board and Jonathan has tried to really make sure that getting to and from town on the major roads we're taken care of. You may have a little bumpy ride getting to, Lauderdale or something like that, but once you get there, it's a smooth ride to and from town. We have the second most bridges in the state out of all the other 82 counties, and Rush Mayette and the Road and Bridge Department has done a really good job of identifying all the bridges from worst to first, and they're working through a plan to replace the ones before the state comes in, like they did on Lauderdale a couple of years ago, and says, okay, this bridge is shut down today, not tomorrow, not the next day, but it's a lot easier getting the easements and the right-of-ways and everything before you have to replace the bridge. So if you can get all the components there, like we're doing right down here in Meridian, you're getting everything in place. So hopefully it's back up and running by Thanksgiving instead of Easter. So, but all in all, roads and bridges are, I think, pretty good shape. We need striping out in the county. That's what I hear out in the county. I mean, that's what Devin said. I mean, and he's not wrong with that. When I'm out there, there's sometimes a good distance between houses, and if it's at night, overcast, it's kind of hard to see. But what I will say from what I have witnessed, and again, I have not sat in that seat, hope to real soon, but I haven't, is they are good stewards and using the money and the resources they have in a great way. We just need time.
Chris?
Yeah, talking about infrastructure in District 1, I've been able to be held accountable in learning the ins and outs of the Roads and Bridges Department because I've been attending these work sessions and business meetings since August of last year. And I made that a point because I knew this was going to be a learning curve, meeting with county administration, reviewing agendas, and really understanding the ins and outs of this job. Look, infrastructure is very important. Going door to door, people are always, voicing their concerns about the roads, the bridges. And so, look, understanding that there is, a project prioritization. I mean, Rush Mayette is very professional at how he does his job, and I commend him on that. And I trust the professionals to do their job, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to get behind them, and of course, I'm going to fight for stronger infrastructure in District 1, but we've got to take a whole county approach. And I understand that if a bridge in another district needs attention more than a bridge in District 1, then I'm going to be behind that. I believe in prioritizing these projects, and look, also understanding that it's not going to happen overnight. In reality, you want a bridge project to take a long time because you want that bridge to last a long time. So, understanding that and trying to voice that to voters and if elected to residents, look, that's what I'll do. I'll let the professionals do their job, and I'll communicate and be accessible to the residents.
All right, very good. You mentioned striping, Justin. These are the first two roads I liked when you elected. If you, hey.
The Philippines will be happy about that one.
Yeah, those are your first two roads we want us to focus on striping there. Anyway, we have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. You have a question for the candidates.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning there, Mr. Benny.
The roads you're talking about, way back years ago, used to be called farm to market roads. That's why they was beginning to improve them so the farmers could get their product. But anyway, my burning question is the school board is trying to, in order to raise a bond, they're having a special election. Now, good stewards of our money is not going to spend, $30,000-$40,000 to have a special election when they could wait hardly a month to have it at the general election. Also, they have limited the voting places just to be at 4 particular schools. I think that's not very frugal. And what is your opinion? Do you think they should have it separate, or save money and have it all at one time in a general election.
All right, there's the question. Thank you, Benny. We appreciate you being out there, my friend.
Thank you. I just hang up and listen.
All right, won't you say what you normally say, though, when you hang up?
Have a great day.
All right, that's what we're talking about. That's the mayor of Sokolina checking in here, by the way, just so you know. Care to answer that question, gentlemen? The separate,
Okay.
why a special election? Why not put it on the regular ballot in November?
That is a great question for your school board member. You know, I think that.
Well done, sir. That was. You see how I did that, Rob? Remember that when you run for office.
They know who they are.
Well, my humble opinion is, I won't. You'll never get 100% turnout, but I mean, everybody has a vote. It doesn't matter who you are, what your name is, what you do for a living, where you live. Everybody's vote counts the same. And I'm just a big proponent of making it as easy as possible. And I'm a big proponent of ID, voter ID. You should have to show your ID to be able to vote. But once you do that, vote. I don't care what precinct you are. If you've got a driver's license or an ID, go vote. And I just think personally it should be in November, if they had asked my opinion, because with all the boxes open, let's get the true result the county wants, instead of having a special. Now, that's just my opinion.
About the voters of the
the
county.
voter, exactly. Yeah. But along with that, and I want to piggyback on that, I've heard a lot about a new jail out there. We need to get the jail out of downtown. Well, my opinion would be that goes to the voters. If they want us to take out a new bond to build a jail, then it needs to be on a November election where everybody has the best chance to go out there and say, yes, I want you to raise my taxes to pay for this, or no, make do with what you have.
All right. The question that the caller asked, Chris Bullock, would you have preferred it to be on the November ballot, or you're okay with the October ballot for the school bond issue?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not here to be a critic of the school board, but I personally, if this was a issue for the supervisors, I would not, waste money by creating a special election when we can just put it on the ballot in a general, if that were the case. Look, I'm here to be conservative, common sense decision making, back to the basics. Look, we don't need to be willy-nilly spending money when we can just make a simple decision and spend your money and let you make the decisions in the best way possible.
All right. Rob, here's the way it is. We got a caller on the line. We got more questions. So we keep going?
Let's keep going.
We're at the top of the hour.
Let's
but we're
roll.
No.
Here's your Fox News. Trump. There you go.
All right.
On.
We got that taken. Good job. Trump indicted.
Just saying, that's your news this morning.
Here's the news. Trump indicted. Trump's popularity rises in the polls. Okay, there you go.
And he's selling T-shirts and mugs now.
Don't forget to get your T-shirts and mugs. There you go. Caller on the line. Good morning. Welcome to our show. Do you have any questions for our candidates?
Good morning. Maybe they just something, and everybody in the area may know the answer, but I hadn't figured it out. It's my understanding that the school district is maxed out on millage.
They are.
Yeah, that's true.
And yet I hear them talk about covering the bond issue payments with about 0.031 or something anyway. It's about $315
$3.15 mils.
That's it. 3.15.
Right, but it's $315 per $100,000 value. So, but I'm trying to figure out if they're maxed out on mills, how do they add 0.0315?
Evidently, you can. Evidently, a special vote can increase the millage for a bond issue. Evidently.
Well, it was written
to
somewhere
service
that
the bond.
State law was the limit of the 55 mills. Now, that's what I'm missing is how
that can
mills
happen,
could be used to pay the bond issue annual cost.
Stay tuned to WALT in the days ahead, and we will find out all the answers and bring them to you, sir.
All right, good. I'll be sure and print them up and time his tattle, too.
Wait a minute. You get that paper, too?
I missed that when I called in yesterday when old PT was there, but I just thought I'd, throw a little in there.
There you go. No worries there. All right, good to hear you out there. Good to hear you out there. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, and talking about roads, I want to go back to that because really, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of things, probably the things that the county does that affects us directly the most is the road maintenance and construction and the sheriff's department. Mm-hmm. So these are two key issues for voters. And the thing is, road conditions, road paving, that we still have some dirt roads. I don't know about District 1, but there are other districts that have some dirt roads that would probably be good to be paved. Are you in favor of putting some asphalt over some of these dirt roads we still have?
Okay, where it makes sense. And what I mean by that is if it's in District 1, Lost Horse, for example, where the pavement ends to where the pavement begins again, it's about a quarter mile or so. A load or two of gravel a year makes sense. There's no houses in there. It's woods and pasture land. So if there's a lot of new development in there, a lot of new houses being built, that kind of thing, where it makes sense for the citizens to go in and spend the resources to build up the roadbed and pave it, yes. Other areas where it doesn't make sense, don't. It's just about using common sense, talking to the experts. I'm not an expert in everything the county does, but the good thing is we have great people in those positions. And so what we're supposed to do as the Board of Supervisors is take their input, look at all the information, and make the best, most common sense answers we can.
Yeah, look, I'll agree with JJ on that.
Paving dirt roads.
Like I talked about earlier, we need to listen to the professionals, listen to Rush Mayat, listen to the guys that are running roads and bridges, and it goes back to project prioritizing. We've got to trust that, and if it makes sense, that's something we can look at. But I'm going to listen to the professionals. We're going to take a whole county approach. And we're going to let these guys prioritize these projects, and I'm going to support that.
And of course, just to piggyback on something you said there, that some of the roads may not have houses physically on the dirt portion of the road, but they could be good connectors for people that are traveling across the county, different places. So hopefully that would be taken into consideration. Yeah. All right, we got a Facebook question. We got a caller on the line. Let's take the Facebook question and then the caller. Stand by, caller. We'll get to you as quick as we can.
Zena just wrote into us here on Facebook. He says, will they support the annexation of Parcel 1? Says Briarwood area has not received any city services since being annexed over 15 years ago.
Would they support the de-annexation?
De-annexation, rather.
Yeah, okay.
De-annexation. So I guess we'll start with Chris on that end right there.
Look, going door to door in that area, especially after, a lot of residents were affected by floods. They were very fiery in their comments when I was going door to door during that time. And look, it wasn't just flooding; it's other issues that people are having with their water services and different things. But from what I understand, people are getting a list of names, and I don't know if that's the legal standpoints of how that process plays out. But look, people are not happy. But what I can say is that if elected and you do live in the city limits, there are legalities that I can't come and do some things. But what I can do and what I will pledge to do is help you any way I can, get you to the right person, listen to your concerns, and help solve your problems in the best way possible.
All right, JJ?
Well, I grew up in Briarwood Country Estates. Born in 1975, moved to 279 Dogwood Circle where Mom and Dad lived when I was born. And that got annexed. To my knowledge, there's still a lot of people out there that are very unhappy. They haven't gotten water, they haven't gotten sewer, they haven't got anything. I can see why they want to be de-annexed. But again, that is not something that the Board of Supervisors would vote on or have anything to do. If I lived there, I probably would sign the petition, just being honest. I mean, unless if that is the thing that we're going to have to do, if you allow me to serve you on this board, is to stay in my lane, conduct the business of Lauderdale County, because at the end of the day, the Board of Supervisors is the business board of the county. I don't get to go out there with shovels and backhoes and work on the bridge. I don't get to go ride around with Odie in Lima when there's an emergency, or volunteer fire. They're not letting me on a truck. We get to make the financial decisions for the county and try to use our money, yours and mine, the best way we can. I mean, Josh Todd said it best, and I'm kind of throwing him under the bus, but he was kidding. He said, we can fix all the problems if we take more Rogers money. But nobody wants to do that. So he's pulling it out. I'll take it.
What the heck? Do we,
we will take donations live on the air.
do we get?
No, not taking any more of my money. Sorry.
We got
but does that mean
we got a $2 raise?
Yeah.
That's all right.
So it just
All right. Questions answered? We got a caller. All right.
Yeah, good. Let's go to the phone right there.
All right. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, I'm well, and you guys this morning.
Hey,
Morning,
can you
sir.
Listen who we talking to here now, Ron.
It's Mr. Johnson.
Listen, first and foremost, let me just say to those two gentlemen, you all have them cornered there, I know, but ding, ding, ding. But hey, people don't know when you're vying for public office how time-consuming it is. It is quite demanding, so I congratulate them on that candidacy. But listen, Roger, the other day, I don't know if it was while you was talking to the superintendent of Lauderdale County or if it was after he had been there. There was some discussion going on about, once those taxes have been put out there and, they're enforced and everything, after the bond or whatever has been satisfied, if there's ever an attempt to say, hey, let's give those tax breaks back to the people. Let's take them off. We've satisfied that to which we had intended for the taxes to serve.
Yeah.
So what I asked these two gentlemen
Retiring the 3.1 mils.
That's your operative word. So would they be willing for in the future? I don't know. Some of these bonds, some of these things outlive individuals who were in office when they actually were initiated. But would they be willing to see language in those bonds that would say something to the effect that in the event that we've satisfied that to which it was intended, we would, retire that, or would they just say, well, we'll be paying this one off, so we'll just, continue with. You understand what I'm saying? It's like they just continue on, and I just want to hear them discuss how they feel about that.
Basically, if I hear your question is, are you willing to retire debt service by way of bond increase when the bond is satisfied, rather than just adding more bond, doing more bonds and keeping it the same?
I couldn't ask that question better.
I'm not sure if that's correct, but I think you guys get the point. All right, we'll let them answer that question there, sir. We appreciate that very much.
And thank you guys for the forum.
And you're welcome, and we appreciate your service and your run for office.
There we go.
All right, I'm. A lot of us are kind of maybe foggy about how it all works. You have mill increases for bond issues. Are you willing to let the millage go down when the bonds are satisfied? I think that's the question. So who was first last time, Rob?
We'll go with JJ, I believe. We want Chris JJ because we asked that question on Facebook.
Gotcha.
So,
right.
yeah, we'll go that way. Yeah. I'm losing track. We've been here a while.
That's water I'm drinking, I promise. All right, yeah, we're good.
So one of the great things I've learned
yes, sir,
throughout this whole process is the current board and the current administration up there has done a phenomenal job being stewards of your money. We have, as a county, one of the highest credit ratings of any county in the state. It's A++. It's very good. And the way that works is with our rainy day fund, which is the money we have to have in the reserve, so in case something catastrophe happens, we can keep paying our bills for X number of months. That cash on hand allows us to have a great rating for bond borrowing. So when a bond is retired, it is my understanding that every 4 years, when a new board comes on, they take out a $10 million road and bridge bond. And the reason is because we don't take in enough money on the front end to fund the road and bridge department for the next 4 years. So it's kind of like a credit card or anybody that's bought a car from.
It's really what a bond is. It's a credit card.
It is.
Yep.
And we all use them. I personally do everything on short term as much as I can because I just don't like debt. And my wife gets mad at me because, I pay everything off too quick, But anyways, but I'll say this is that I don't think used the right way, bonds are a great asset and a great tool that we can use as a county to further ourselves and make ourselves better. And from what I understand, the way the way I look at it is, if Roger or Rob comes to the county and says, look, we want to build X, we want to build this industry here, or we want to expand our current industry that we have here, we have the borrowing capacity and the rating to go out and do whatever we need to do to make that happen. So again, that goes back to asking for the business, like I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we get that business to say yes, we're ready to go.
Okay. Chris, we're asking about the retirement of actually reducing taxes back to once bonds retire. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, it goes back to just being good stewards of your money. I mean, look, as long as you're spending money wisely, spending tax dollars in a conservative, common sense way, there's no reason that we can't continue doing that, just as the board has been doing. These are important for the Roads and Bridge Department to survive and to solve your problems. And so, look, I will continue to support that, and if elected, I will spend your money in a conservative, common sense way.
All right. It's Mornings in Meridian. We're glad you're out there. We are visiting with candidates for Supervisor, District 1. They want you to get out and vote next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, the 29th?
29th.
There it is. And so if you have any questions for them, you can call in here. But we might have to take a quick second here and remind you, we ask you to vote for, well,
The Carr family.
the Cars at
Yes,
Truckers.
At Truckers, there you go. So, of course, it's Tool Central there at Trucker Supply. They're located at 519 Highway 19 South. Of course, one-stop shop for all your tools. And, of course, Milwaukee tools. Of course, they've got those Knipex tools as well. And, Roger, it's been 100-plus degrees the last several days. I know Chris and JJ can attest to that, knocking door to door. And a Yeti mug or cooler stock full is always a good choice when you're going door to door. And, of course, they're located at 519 Highway 19 South here in Meridian. Go by and see the Carr family. You can't miss them. They're right next door to McDonald's. They're on that entrance towards Sam's Club. That is Trucker Supply for all things tools and all things Yeti. They got you squared away at Truckers.
All righty. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, hello, and welcome to our show.
I think we got rear end dialed.
Okay, there we go. All right, we try one more time. Good morning. You're welcome to our show. Okay.
Double rear end dialed. That's rare.
Double rear end dialed. I'm just curious, guys. You're out there on the campaign trail, and here's what I observe. We purposely put our elections so that you have to get out in the hottest time of the year, and really, really want this job. I mean, you really got to work for it. So, I want you to tell me maybe the funniest thing you encountered out there on the trail. What's the just most bizarre or interesting or funniest thing you encountered out there on the campaign trail?
I'm just going to be honest. I don't think they're going to trump Devin, the cat.
The cat.
But maybe we're going to find out. So.
What did you find? What was kind of strange out there? Just something. Yeah, you start with you, JJ.
Okay. To me, the funniest thing has been when I'm walking a neighborhood and you go knock on a door, you wait, you leave, and you go about 3 houses, and then you start looking at people looking through the blinds. Looking through the blinds, like, who is that walking in our neighborhood? And then you get to a house where you know somebody. Oh, it's just you, JJ. I'm going to send the group text out that you're okay. You're not there here to rob or anything like that.
Group text.
I mean, it really is. I mean, everybody has their own little neighborhood watch, but I mean, it is funny. You're walking down the street, you look, you're just looking because you want to make eye contact. You want to engage somebody.
Yeah.
And you see the blinds going down a little bit. To me, that's been the funniest thing of the whole deal.
Have you had the blinds go down, they look out and not answer the door?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then I'll get the text of, who's this weirdo? And it was me on a Ring doorbell.
Yeah. All right. Most bizarre, interesting, funny thing out there on the campaign trail, Chris?
Well, nothing really crazy has happened to me, but I will say, going door to door has been my favorite part of the campaign. I've had opportunity to go with my wife, Tyler, to go with different friends and family members. We've got them going door to door as well. And just being able to meet people and, just kind of take a step back and realize that we've got a lot of great people right here in Lauderdale County. Yep. And we're fortunate to live here. And I just, like I said, I ask for everybody's prayers, and hopefully I'm fortunate enough to serve you in this capacity.
No blind peepers?
I didn't see any looking at me.
All right. All right.
They
Good
were
deal.
sneaky with you, maybe. I don't know.
All
I
right.
do look sketchy, though.
Mornings in Meridian. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show. Hello. Good morning. Oh, it's another. Okay. It's another Another
Next time you answer, say we're asking about an extended warranty on a car,
yes.
or an extended school bond.
That's
Yeah.
right. Well,
Bad joke.
bad joke. Our number here is 601-485-9191. Of course, one of the concerns, I guess maybe I should just ask this in a way of a question. It's been interesting. There was a large turnout in the runoff. Should we try this phone one more time? Just stand by, caller. We'll get to you. What is your concern now? We've had this large voter turnout, and now we're to a runoff, and now it's down to 2 coroner candidates and 2 guys running for supervisor in one district here. So tell me your concerns there, and let's start over here with Chris.
Look, statistically speaking, the runoff is definitely going to have a lower turnout, and that's why we're here this morning. We're trying to do everything we can to draw attention to this runoff election. These are 2 very important positions in your county government: your supervisor and your coroner. So, look, I urge everybody, even if you did not make it to the polls on August 8th, if you are a registered voter, you can come and let your voice be heard August 29th, this Tuesday. So look, tell your friends, tell your family, put it on social media, get out and vote this Tuesday. It's very, very important.
All right, JJ.
I think that, and thank you again for having us. And just like everybody else that's promoting this on the radio, people get busy. People have lives. People have jobs. People have families. And when there's only 2 races in one district and the other 4 districts have 1 race, people can get lost in the shuffle. It is vitally important to Chris and I. I mean, we are both laser focused on the 29th because I want to serve as your 1 of 5 supervisor. And I think it is very important with the situation, the way the economy is going, the way inflation is going, that we have 5 people on that board that know how to operate a business and know how to make tough decisions and really think what's best long-term with your money. But please go out and vote. I mean, I know that I've got people calling, texting, we're door knocking, dadgummit, give me a call. I'll come pick you up. I mean, so.
All right. All right. You got your ride to the poll right there. All right. Very good. We have a caller on the line. You have a question for the candidates, please.
Well, I just kind of felt sorry for you guys, and I was just going to call since you had all these butt dials or hang-ups or whatever they were.
Well, I appreciate you feeling sorry for us, but the best way you can help us is have a question for the candidates. That's what this is about.
Well, I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Oh, some instructions. Okay, get your notes and pads.
This is the second set of candidates that you've had on facing off each other that are not a debate, that are just, 2 good old guys hanging out, or good old girl and guys, with corner.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say I commend you guys for having a civil relationship like that. And
we can put them 2 feet apart, and they haven't slugged each other or nothing at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But show's not over yet. Show's not over yet.
Well, let me think of something I can instigate them with. But anyway.
Yeah, well, that's fine. No, thanks for checking in. I appreciate your empathy for us here.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear the candidates out there, and everybody, please get out there and vote. It's just the runoff, but it's very important. And just want to say that. And you guys have a wonderful weekend and take care.
All right. Appreciate the phone call there. It was Zane checking in there.
Yeah.
Anything popping up on the online?
I think we're clean over here right now. I think
right.
we can just about wrap things up. Just about.
Why don't we do that? We can do that. Well, no, not yet.
Well, let's take one more.
601-485-9191. See, don't miss. This is good. Don't miss your opportunity.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Yeah, don't wrap it up right too fast. This morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. You have a question for the candidates. That's what we need right now.
Well, I'm just coming in. Right, I got a question about. Well, who do we have this morning? I'm gonna
this is our man. This is our man on the street. Your phone's a little bit broken up on us, but I think I know this is the man on the street here. We got J.J. Anders and we have Chris Bullock. They're running for Supervisor District 1.
Okay, now how would that affect District 1? How do they affect the whole county? Do District 1 affect the whole county?
They have a 1 in 5 vote on $55 million.
Okay. So, to both of them, what is their future outlook for the county? And I'm listening in.
All right, future outlook. All right, there you go. Good question. All right, go ahead. Hey, JJ?
To me, it's extremely positive. I think we have a phenomenal foundation with the industry we have here, the medical community, the military community, the infrastructure with the railway, the airport, the interstates, the Tom Bigby not too far away. We're 3 to 4 to 5 hours from anywhere else in the Southeast. Mm-hmm. We have everything going for us. We just have to start adding to the pie. We have to keep our young people here. We have to keep our talent here. And we just have to start having to close the deal. We have to quit coming in second place, and we got to start getting some wins. I mean, in business, either you're growing or you're dying. And me personally, I like to grow.
All right. So, Chris Bullock.
Yes, I'm very optimistic about our future here in Lauderdale County. Going door to door, telling voters, one of the main reasons I'm running is I want Lauderdale County to be the best place in Mississippi to live, work, and raise your family. And I believe we can get there. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take everybody working together, but I believe we can do that. I've got a record of working across the aisle. I've got a record of serving this community since I was 15 years old, and I've got a record of running a business in the private sector. And I believe I can bring a lot to the table to make Lauderdale County a better place.
All right, let's see. Yeah, we've answered that one.
Yeah, answer that one, yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, is I know that informed voters know that the supervisor's job is a part-time job, and each of you have different occupations and things like this. So just kind of tell the folks, in addition to, should you be elected as supervisor, in addition to it, what will you be doing? For example, I know you're actively involved in a family business, so we'll start with you, Mr. Bullock. What will you be doing in addition to being a supervisor, occupational-wise?
Yeah, in addition to, if elected, I will continue, help run my family's business, Caterers Market. We've got a great staff that allows me to do that. And so, look, what I've been talking about going door to door is look at what I'm involved in now, the level of involvement that I am currently doing in Lauderdale County. I am former chairman of the Lauderdale County Republican Executive Committee. Currently, I'm serving as vice president of the Meridian Public School District Foundation, treasurer of the North Hills District Association, on the board of directors for the Meridian Council for the Arts. And look, I've got a record of involvement, and that doesn't take away from my family. It doesn't take away from the private sector business that I run. Look, I'm very good at time management. I'm energized, and I'm ready to serve you.
All right. J.J. Andrews, what will you be doing in addition to...
The most full-time, part-time job you'll ever have?
Do what now?
No, somebody told me early on, it was Stanley Shannon, I believe, who said it was the most full-time, part-time job you could ever ask for. No, what I'm going to do...
If only the salary commensurated that.
It doesn't, but we're not doing this for... At least I'm not doing this for the money. I'm going to be hopefully a better husband and dad, coach a few more Little League teams for my 6 and 9-year-old. I've got another business. I've got a rental property business that I'm looking to expand. And anybody that knows me, I'm a business guy. I mean, I look around. I'm like, wait, we can do this over here, or hey, something like that would go great there. I will be starting at least one more passive income business. The UPS store was phenomenal. I mean, it was great. It was great, personally, professionally, financially. It was. The Lord really took care of me in that business, along with everybody listening who were great customers, including people in this room. Mm-hmm. All three of you guys were customers, and I greatly appreciated that. But it took a lot of time. And, me personally, I want to be on this board because I've got a business mind. I think the Lord blessed me with a great business sense. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a coroner. I'm not a sheriff. But I'm a good business guy. And so that's what I'm going to do is do this, add to my passive income business, and be hopefully a better husband and dad.
All right, we have a caller on the line. Good morning. You have a question for the candidates, please.
Yes, good morning, guys. Come in peace. I love everybody, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You got that right, Brother Powell. Come on in here.
What I wanted to know, if they could describe the boundaries of District 1. Actually, what area do they cover? I know the map has been changed,
Yeah. You
over
want
the
so
time.
you want one of them to describe the boundary of the District 1, and
Correct.
I'll let them decide how they want to answer that. You know, you guys draw straws, rock paper scissors, whatever you want to do there.
I'm not going to go line by line, but what I'll offer, areas and communities. Look, you've got North Meridian, you've got a little bit of North Hills, you've got Broadmoor, you've got Briarwood, you've got NAS, you've got Bailey. It's a very, it's a big district. It's a lot of ground to cover, and me and JJ have covered it. And going door to door, and I think both of us can say this, we're very better able to serve at this point because we've covered this whole district. I've had the pleasure of talking to residents in all corners of this district. I've driven to as many houses and knocked on as many doors as I possibly can during this whole campaign. And it's a great district. It's got great people. And I just want to put out there that I am prepared and dedicated to serving you if elected.
All right. Does that answer your question, caller?
Well, one more.
All right, please. Yeah, go ahead.
I
Where?
think District 2 is the largest. So where would you be in that number for a size?
Five is.
District 5 is actually the
District 5
largest.
is the largest.
It's the
Okay.
largest land mass wise. Yeah.
4's the smallest.
Okay.
4's the smallest. 1's the second smallest. Then 2, then 3, then 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Appreciate your answer.
Thank you. Thanks for the phone call. Now, let's wrap this up here, guys. I want to thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I just want to ask this question because we really haven't had a fight yet. So let me just ask this and see how we can do this. But I know that each one of you would like to come out the one with the most votes on Tuesday. So that being said, that's the obvious thing. I know one of you have said, maybe both throughout the morning have said you're the most qualified. So just recap why you, J.J. Anders, are more qualified than Chris Bullock. Chris Bullock, I want you to tell me why you are more qualified than J.J. Anders. And let's see, I'm thinking of a number between...
Oh, good Lord.
No, we'll start with J.J. Anders, please, if you'll start with that and just say, why are you more qualified than the gentleman sitting next to you?
Well, first and foremost, I have nothing against Chris. I applaud Chris. I applaud Devin. I applaud anybody that says, I want to serve. I want to put myself out there. This isn't personal for me. And I don't think it is for Chris either. I think what sets me apart, not necessarily from Chris or Devin, but just what makes JJ is we're all from here. We're all born and raised here. I started working in my family's business when I was 12 in the warehouse. I'll never forget that Saturday morning. Dad said, Grandy and I said, it's time to go to work. So we went down there, started opening boxes, loading furniture trucks. Moved back when I lost my job, when there was a downsize in 2009, and I chose to move back to Meridian because my family was here. Everything I like to do is right here, except for snow skiing. That's the only thing I can't do in Meridian. And I started looking around, what do I want to do? And I found a need, and I opened up my own business with my own money and was blessed by the people of East Central Mississippi and West Central Alabama to grow that business every year for 13 plus years, and then to have the opportunity to sell it. And I was the nerd in middle school. Then when Coach Brian started teaching civics, I love this stuff. I love how we are a representative government in a democracy where we get to go up there and make decisions about how to use our money. Any of us that wants to put it in. So I think what separates me apart from anybody is I'm a business guy. I know how to run a business. I know how to make that business successful by hard work, dedication, consistency, availability, and I'm just humbly asking for your vote. I just want to put myself out there.
All right. Chris Bullock, can you explain to our listeners why you're more qualified for this job than J.J. Anders?
Absolutely. My name is Chris Bullock. I'm a candidate for District 1 Supervisor, and I do believe I am the most qualified candidate running in this race. Not only do I have a background in running a business in the private sector, and that's important. The Board of Supervisors has a lot to do with business, but it has everything to do with serving people. And I think that's what voters are looking at. They look at experience and dedication that I have in serving our community, since I was 15 years old. And I just asked voters to look at my endorsements. Clayton Cobbler, who is our longtime county coroner, a great leader and has experience and success in serving our community, has endorsed my campaign. George Thomas, longtime Meridian City Councilman, has dedicated a large portion of his life to serving our community. And they look at me, a candidate that has, since he was 15 years old, been serving Lauderdale County, and I feel the Lord is calling me to serve in a bigger capacity. And I'm following that. I'm working hard at it, and I ask for everybody's prayers, and I ask for you to get out and vote Tuesday for Chris Bullock for District 1 Supervisor.
All right, Rob.
All right.
I think that's a wrap.
I think so, guys. I just want to tell y'all, appreciate y'all coming in. I know we had y'all in for a good amount of time this morning, and it was a great conversation. Wish you guys all the best on Tuesday. So,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and as our callers have said and the people said, we have two good gentlemen right here at the studio.
We're.
I tried to get him.
County's going to be a winner.
I tried to get them to take a swing at each other. They just wouldn't do it. But get out and vote, folks, because as Plato said, if you don't take interest in your government, then you are doomed to live under the rule of fools.
There you go. I like it.
That's why you need to get out and vote. So get out and enjoy. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you.
mics were coming hot earlier. So glad you're out there, folks. Welcome back, Roger, along with Rob Atkinson. Glad you're feeling better today, sir.
I'm District 1'd out now.
we kind of covered the bases, didn't we?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to say this, and I think a lot of folks will agree. We have got two absolutely solid guys in this runoff on Tuesday. You can't go wrong, man. They're just two great guys. Been a lot of fun getting to know them over this process, and District 1's going to have a tough choice on Tuesday. And but you heard both candidates this morning. We've had them on several times now, and we appreciate them taking the time out to be on together. I think that's great. Of course, we had the coroner candidates on yesterday as well. So, folks, the decision is in your hands now. Of course, the county-wide race will be the coroner. Of course, folks in District 1 will have two races on their ballot. But just remember, once again, I know we've mentioned this, and we're going to continue to mention this over the next several mornings leading up to Tuesday. Remember, if you voted Republican on the 8th, you are eligible to vote on Tuesday. Now, if you did not vote at all on August the 8th, you are eligible to vote on the 29th, on Tuesday, obviously. The only voter not eligible to vote is if you voted Democrat on August the 8th. So just bear that in mind with these particular races.
And Rob, it's like this. We've tried to communicate, and people need to understand this. If you don't, then I don't know what's going to make you understand it. The closer you get to a local candidate, and there's no closer local candidate than getting down to your supervisor in your district.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that is when if you are worried about your vote counting, that is when your vote counts the absolute most.
Well, I mean,
you talk about the power of the vote. Mm-hmm. There are races that have been won by 1, 2, 3 votes. Mm-hmm. There are those who sometimes think, well, based on the turnout of my candidate, or it looks like he's probably got this sewed up, or because of the turnout of my candidate, maybe didn't have a chance. So people make a decision based on some of these crazy analysis not to go to the polls on a runoff. And this is a runoff election is when your vote has the most power ever.
Well, these two races in particular, if you rewind to August the 8th, I mean, the coroner's race, of course, Stella McMahon won, I wouldn't say handily, but she had a pretty sizable lead to win the first place position. But before certification was done, Kenneth Graham was only about 49 votes ahead of Kevin Smith for that opportunity to go to the runoff. So votes matter there. And then when you flip the page over to this District 1 race, on that night you had 3 candidates in District 1. Roger, before certification, J.J. Andrews was about 9 or 10 votes away from winning that thing outright with a 50+1. So it does matter.
Right.
Every single vote matters. Now, when you go to a runoff, what you did back on the 8th, we've used dadgummit a lot this morning. It don't matter what happened on the 8th because
don't matter at all.
A completely different voter turnout is going to appear here, and obviously we know the numbers will be a lot lower.
And there are a lot of different reasons people decide not to show up at a runoff because, they were more interested in another race, so they really don't care. And I realize that, you as voters out there in our listening area, if you're in Lauderdale County, you think, well, I'm not in District 1, so it doesn't, but you still have a coroner decision.
Sure.
You need to get out for that. And your vote has extreme, and when I was talking about your vote has the most power, one vote is one vote. But yes, in a national election, you get diluted with the whole statewide voting results. In a state, the governor's election, same thing. But when you're coming down to offices in your county in a runoff election, don't look me in the eyes and say, well, it doesn't matter, because it sure as vanilla or chocolate mint ice cream, it sure does matter.
Yep, absolutely.
There you go.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's take a phone call, 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Hey, guys, listen.
Welcome back, Chick.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all letting me come back. But after having listened, I was sitting there, I had somewhat of an epiphany. I was thinking those two gentlemen, and like all of the candidates in Lauderdale County, they have pretty much, and myself included, we've stood on our own records, our own merits, and we've not thrown shade, as the young generation say, at each other. And, the national and state politicians, they should take this chapter out of Lauderdale County's playbook. I mean, from the sheriff election all the way down. I mean, it's just been clean election. People stand. I know people like good old-fashioned political fisticuffs, but, that's not what it's all about. At the end of the day,
I tried to start a fight here. I tried.
Yeah, you gave a valid effort, dog. Thank goodness. But it's about you, you packaging and delivering your yourself, and this is what those gentlemen did, and all of the candidates, all of those who have, been in the races, they have done just a great job and just sticking to their, agenda and not being critical, at least not publicly anyway, of their opponents. And that's at the end of the day, that's what we really want to hear. And I just appreciate this forum, and I just appreciate those candidates.
And I kind of piggyback off that a little bit, Chick, is that the bottom line is Lauderdale County has solid citizens out there that are willing to put themselves out there to go into this process, and it has made it super difficult on the folks who go to the polls religiously to be like, man, we got some good folks out there running, and I still think we have more folks that have just not stepped to the plate yet, the younger generation maybe that have always thought about, you know what, I might want to run for office, I'm not real sure, that would be solid candidates that would be in great positions in our county. So, I say the future overall for our county is in pretty darn good hands. So.
Absolutely, and I agree, Rob. But the key is going to be, we have voter registration. I think that more voter education will gin up more voter participation, realizing that one vote does count. Yeah. I mean, just if I just look at my election alone, losing by just 50-something votes. That's too close. That's closer to most shades I've had. But it's, I just want to comment. And look, I've got to say this to the Marcus Boyle reign at Meridian. I didn't begin so good last night.
Did not.
Tough one, man. They lost a tough one at Quitman, because Quitman, they got good athletes down there, and it was a fight all the way. I was just wondering if they were going to be able to survive the weather conditions. Man, I tell you, I thought and I said, it looks better on Facebook and sounds better on radio.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate your call out there, Chick. Thanks for listening, buddy.
Thank you all so much.
All right, 601-485-9191. Let's pay a couple of bills here, Rob, and talk about the people that help us stay on the air.
Well, I'm going to tell you who does a great job of getting vehicles back out on the road when you get a fender bender, maybe a little crack in your windshield or whatever it might be, auto body repair. That's Premier Paint and Body, of course. Danny Shelton and the staff are located right next door to Lee Allen and his staff at Johnson Dodge on Highway 39. That's 1210B Highway 39. Of course, they've got well over 100 years experience, Danny and everybody in the shop office. Good service department there with auto body repair, painting, automotive glass replacement. They'll give you a free estimate. And, of course, working with the insurance companies, that's always a lot of fun, but they are the bridge between you and those folks as well. Once again, go by and see them. They're right next door to Johnson Dodge. Get you a cup of coffee before it gets to be 110 degrees today. They're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Their phone number is 601-482 Paint at 601-482-7246. Like new results, they'll get you back on the road fast. That's Premier Paint and Body.
And a little bit later in the show, we're going to talk about a car dealer. But right now, I want to talk about the roof on your home. You know that if you need a new roof, we've been telling you for years, you call Martin Roofing.
Absolutely.
Doug Martin Jr., Doug Martin Sr. I think it's just the cutest thing that Doug Martin Jr. gets up on that roof with his measuring tape, and he measures the roof, and he yells down to his dear wife, Stacy, the numbers, and she writes them down.
I've seen it.
And they take good care to make sure they give an accurate quote. But here's the thing about it. The quote is accurate. The price is fair, but the service is great. They come out there, take the old roof off, make repairs of the decking that might need to be repaired, so that you have now new paper, new roof, new shingles, new metal, whatever it is you're putting on there. And then there is a tremendous cleanup. It's almost like they weren't there, except you've got a brand new roof.
The magic of roofing.
So they are members of the Better Business Bureau for a reason, because they are a better business. So give them a call at 601-485-5920, 601-485-5920. That's Martin Roofing.
Love it.
Let's go to the phones there, sir. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
Good morning and happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
I just have a quick question, and I probably just missed this. When they have the supervisor runoff now, is that person automatically it, or do they have somebody running against them in November?
They do have a November candidate. Tyrone Johnson will be the representative for the Democrats there in District 1. So they will have another general election, or have another election coming up in November.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's an excellent question. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, and the same goes with the coroner candidates, too. Of course, winner of the race between Stella McMahon and Kenneth Graham on Tuesday, the winner of that one will also go to a general election against Rita Jack, who will be the Democratic representative. So yeah, you go. Roger, we knew some of these races were going to go to a three-step process. Well,
here we
these
are.
two are. So
And that's when the registration closed at the Lauderdale County Courthouse in January. All those candidates, we kept saying runoff.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a while.
So, what about coverage on Tuesday? We're going to be reporting results.
We are
on our station.
I'm gonna be down there.
WALT will supply you with the results of the runoff election. So be listening as we go.
And I figure that the results will come in a lot quicker that night because we only have the two races to report on. And Roger, I'll be honest with you, we'll probably have a little bit of a clearer picture on District 1 supervisor race early in the night. The coroner's race, obviously a county-wide race, will take a little bit longer, but I don't think we're going to be there quite as late as we were back on the 8th. But we'll get you the information out there. So
yeah, we'll do that. In the meantime, I think it might be good if we just took a little break. What do you think?
That'd be a good idea.
We'll pay a couple of bills, and we'll be right back, so stay with us. I'm Roger. He is Rob.
Here today.
And thank goodness. I'm glad you're well. I know what a deer in the headlight feels like now when you weren't here yesterday. That's exactly right. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Right.
They're all sweaty.
She's campaigning for her husband. She's running for office. Is this song, have we reached the point in our socially declining, politically correct, woke world? Have we reached the point where this song is offensive to women?
I don't know. They went after Queen's fat bottom girl, so you never know what's going to happen next. So,
and if you are female out there and this song is offensive, we'd like to get your take on it. Let us know. 601-485-9191. 601-485-9191.
oh, bless it.
That's our talk line. Anyway, I like the way I put that. Our declining society, woke, no, our declining politically correct woke society.
I just have a question.
All right, I have an answer.
Do you think Trump is really 6'3", 215 pounds?
In his wallet.
I'm not going there. I mean, really, that's what some of the media is fascinated over. I'm like, really? Well, you know, when he was president, he was 200. Blah, 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 blah. Now he said he's 250.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's.
I mean, get a life. You know, collect stamps for a hobby or something. I mean, do something else. You know.
It's let's see. What was it I just read from Plato? If you don't take interest in your maybe we should change that. If you don't take interest in your media, you will be broadcast to by fools. Maybe that's the way to put it.
But I'm going to tell you who forecasted this thing correctly was Paul Tarver. He said if I was Trump, the mugshot I would use for T-shirts or mug. And dadgummit, has he ever? Have you seen this? Trump has
I want a T-shirt.
He's got. They've got two different types of T-shirts.
Yeah.
Well, they've got a white one and a black one because we got to be fair. Got to be fair. And he's got long sleeve, short sleeve. And he's got mugs with it, and you can also get a decal to put on the back of your vehicle. Well, and I can only imagine how many of those they're going to sell. I
got to investigate this.
But I just wonder,
is that like trumpstuff.com?
Yeah, it's probably easy to find.
Okay.
But can you imagine though? All right, they've got. I mean, the mugshot's taken. He goes in, pays the $200,000 bond, and he gets on the road, gets back on the plane, and goes home. But can you imagine? I would love to know the number of how much campaign funds Trump has raised since last night after the booking. I mean, because you know all of the T-shirts and everything that are sold with the mugshot, and the mugshot is about what I expected it to be. The old, I'm looking down at you and I'm gonna cut your eyeballs out or something. But
well, I would recommend to folks, if you want the Trump indictment, the arrest bumper sticker, but you don't have a bumper to put it on, I suggest you go up to Philadelphia.
Docs.
Talk to Docs, because not all Toyota dealerships are created equal, and you'll find there's no deal like a Docs deal.
601-600-3786. Of course, they're open right now until about 6 this evening. Great service department at Docs. Of course, they're open until 5. And if you can't get your Toyota service there Monday through Friday, they're even open for a few hours on Saturday, 8 until noon. And they're located right there on Highway 16 West in Philadelphia. You can even shop online from the comfort of that AC, because we all have a loving relationship with our AC right now. DocsToyota.com. New and used inventory. They've got Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, good pre-owned selection. If you just want to get a beginner vehicle or top-of-the-line luxury, if you want to rent one, just drive it around for a little while and kind of test things out. They can do that for you as well. So there is no deal like a Docs deal. 601-600-3786. That is Docs Toyota. Short drive up to Philadelphia.
I'll tell you what, Rob, there's a birthday I want to celebrate today, born on this day, because the person we're celebrating is departed.
Yeah.
But just want to play you some audio.
Okay, I'm ready.
What books did you write?
I wrote a biography of Admiral Halsey called The Fighting Sailor, about naval combat tactics.
I know this book.
Torpedo impact.
Your conclusions were all wrong, Brian.
10 seconds.
Halsey acted stupidly.
Halsey acted stupidly.
Here, listen here.
Sean Connery, Hunt for Red October.
How old would he have been today?
He would have been 93.
93.
That's what he would have been. So happy birthday to the late Sean Connery.
Yeah, the last
honoring his day.
The last Connery movie I watched, I can't. What's the name of it? It's the one where he played the thief with Catherine Zeta-Jones. You know which one I'm talking about?
Entrapment.
I just watched that not too long ago. That's a sneaky good one.
That's a good one. That's right. That's
he made a few that were just kind of like, we always think of Hunt for Red October, Bond, and whatnot. But that just move it. Finding Forrester, that was the one I watched not long ago. So.
These are lasers. They're lasers.
Lasers.
They're lasers.
I was like, he got to make out with Catherine Zeta-Jones for a little bit. All right.
Well, it was on my bucket list before I passed away.
Yeah, Michael Douglas has nothing on me.
Take that, Michael. Oh, we could go on and on with Bond. There's no question about it. But or with Sean Connery. But that was a very good movie. A lot of good lines that come out of that. That was one of them, of course. And just a neat little twist there.
And of course, I love First Night too, with Richard Gere.
Oh, yes.
Where he played the King.
Yes.
That was always a good one. I could just name Connery movies all
that was kind of like
so.
End of the movie appearance, wasn't it?
No, that was in the Robin Hood movie where he made the appearance at the end.
That's
King Richard.
That's what I remember.
And he was in First Night. It wasn't in many scenes, but it was a few. Of course, the Knights of the Round Table and Richard Gere. That was a decent one. So.
Well, I guess all that's left now is next week. We can talk a little bit about what we're going to do, but I know one thing we're going to be doing is highlighting more talking about the bond issue.
Yeah, I know we talked about it.
We're talking about that.
And we know it's still fresh in everybody's mind, and we'll kind of peel some more of that back on Monday. Of course, we'll be on the eve of the runoff elections here in Lauderdale County, and we'll talk more Trump indictment. As the New York Post today, have you seen this? The New York Post, their edition today is simple. There's no headline. It's just a picture of Trump, the mugshot. That's all they have on the front page of the New York Post today.
Just that's it.
That's all they have.
Oh,
that's their. I mean, can you imagine it? That's going to be framed. That picture is going to become famous now. That a president has been indicted and his mugshot is everywhere now. Would you ever thought you'd see the day? So.
You would never thought it. Okay, well, the world of politics is kind of crazy right now, but I like what he's doing. He's highlighting this two-faced, double-standard judicial system we have in this country, and I think the people are starting to get it.
Dog-faced pony soldier.
That's right. All right. That's pretty much it for today there, Rob.
That's it. Folks, have a good weekend. Stay heat smart. Heat's going to be with us through the weekend again. So.
All right. Y'all have a great day, folks.